Hey guys, Luke back with another video. This one's going to be on all of the crystal tier locations and the new Elden Ring DLC. There are 8 new crystal tiers and they are all achieved pretty much the same way. You just have to kill the big furnace golem enemies. And they're all killed pretty much the same exact way except for a couple of them that you do need to craft some hefty furnace pots and then throw them into their head. So I will include a timestamp in this video that shows you how to get a cookbook for the Hefty Furnace Pot. And there isn't really anything else you need to know, except for that I will include the numbers details on what each flask does as well right before I show you how to get it. So if you don't care about what it does, or you already know, just skip that to the item location part. And if you like it, leave it a like, subscribe for more content to come, and let's get started. Before I walk you through all of the crystal tier locations, I'm going to do a short guide on how to fight these guys. It seems tough at first. Once you get close to them, they start damaging you and they do a lot of damage, but once you learn their moves, it's actually pretty easy. So what I recommend doing when fighting them is just go as quick as you can to the feet so he doesn't start kicking at you. He'll do a stomp. All you have to do to dodge it is just simply jump. Doing it again. You can do it on foot. 2 stomps. And then what you'll want to do to kill this guy is stagger him 3 times and then he will fall over. Oh, couldn't see his hand. Watch out for that. And then once he falls over, you can stab him in the face for massive damage. Whenever he does the double jump, I like to just get up on Torrent and then immediately do a double jump, and that seems to dodge it every time. So now I'm going to go ahead and stagger him 3 times to show you the big damage. There's 1 stagger. 2. And when you stagger him, it does interrupt the jumps, so you can keep attacking. There's 3, now he's fallen down. And we can go around this side, and you can see that his face is stabbable. So go ahead and stab it. And that did 39,700 damage. And then he should be easy to kill from here. We just go ahead and spam. And that's how you kill these guys. It's actually really easy. The only thing I didn't get to show you in this tutorial is the attack they do when they shoot fireballs out of the top of their head. But maybe I can edit in a little footage of this later whenever I'm fighting one that does that. This one likes to do the head attack. To avoid it, I usually just run around like this. Also know that you can throw the Hefty Furnace Pot into their head after you stab them. It doesn't work while they're in the ground like this, but after you stab them you can run over and throw it in their head like so for an extra 40k or so damage. Real quick, I'd like to show you where you can grab a cookbook that will let you craft hefty furnace pots, and whenever you throw these into the furnace golem's head, it does massive damage, like the top of their head. So come over to Great Bridge North. This is right where you first start the DLC, right before you cross the bridge. And come to here, and we're going to go over to this building, and that's where we'll loot the cookbook. There is the cookbook. This will let you craft the hefty furnace pots. And now that you have the cookbook that lets you craft the hefty furnace pot, head over to Scorched Ruins and we can pick up a hefty cracked pot. This will let you use it. This is right where you first start the DLC. And there it is. You can't see it because I already have the maximum number, but that is a hefty cracked pot. You can hold up to 10. That'll let you have 1 pot, so you will need to go and find more of those if you want to use more than 1 pot. And some of the later game golems do require 3 to kill. The Deflecting Hardtear enhances your spontaneous guard. And basically what that means is whenever you press block with your shield right as somebody's about to hit you, that counts as a deflect. And every time you do that, you'll get a stacking buff that increases your next guard counter, which is the attack you do right after the deflection, by 20%. And then that goes up to 80%, so it stacks 4 times. And then if you don't use the stacks, they go away after 5 seconds. And then also you can get multiple stacks from really heavy hits. And then the only thing else you really need to know is that it lasts 5 minutes. So basically, it just turns the game into Sekiro. To get the Deflecting Hardtear, head over to the Scorched Ruins. This is right where you first start the DLC. You probably couldn't miss this guy. You can see him over there walking. And I'm just going to go over there and kill him, and that's how we'll get the tier. And once he's down, you'll drop the tier, but I already have it, so I didn't get it. The Crimsonburst dried tier steadily restores the HP of nearby allies. What that means is you'll get a buff around you that restores nearby ally HP for 3 minutes, and the heal is somewhere around 7 HP per second, and I'm not actually sure if that's entirely accurate, so you'll have to fact check me on that one, but that's what I think it is. And there isn't really much else to this one other than that it is really bright apparently, so it could function as a torch for 3 minutes if you wanted to use it that way. To get the Crimsonburst dried tier, head over to High Road Cross, and if you don't know how to reach this area, just go to Castle Insis and defeat Rolana, and that's where I'm at now. And you can also go around by going to Castle Front, dropping down right here, and then going over past this poison area. There will be a spirit spring here. Jump up into the fort, and then you can go up the road, and then that will bring you up to where I'm at. And then from here we're going to go up this way, and you can see him over there in the distance. That's the guy we need to kill. Going to try to avoid pulling too many enemies. I'd like to just get in there and kill them. But they'll probably die to him doing attacks just ambiently. Yeah. And there it is. I already have it, so I can't show it to you, but you can see it there, the Crimsonburst dried tier. The Viridian hidden tier eliminates all stamina consumption for 15 seconds during the flash duration, and it's really just a stamina version of the Cerulean hidden tier, which is the FP version. And I can't really think of any crazy stamina consuming items that would do crazy damage with this tier, but if y'all can think of any, please let me know. Drop it down in the comments or something. To get the Viridian hidden tier, head over to Castle Front, and it's actually going to be down here. So if you have the Elec River downstream grace, it's right next to there. So use that grace, and it's very close, just right here, to fight the Furnace Golem. But I want to show from the castle how to get down there, because it can be a little confusing. Basically, we're going to go down here. There's going to be a cave that we're going to go through. It's going to take us to Elec River Cave, and then we're going to go straight down in. But I'm just going to go ahead and show the walk. Drop down here. Just be careful not to take too much fall damage. When you see the big flower, that's where you need to go. There's a cave right next to him. There's a grace right there you can grab. Then once you come out here, you're going to make a left. And here's the grace that I was talking about at the beginning of this. The Elec River downstream. And you can finally see the golem up ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and buff up and kill him, and then that's how we'll get the tier. And there it is, the Viridian hidden tier. For the Glovewort crystal tier, it enhances the attacks of your summoned spirits. So basically it just gives them about a 7.5% damage increase. And that damage increase does stack with other buffs like Golden Vow. And the duration of this one is 3 minutes. And the only other thing you could possibly need to know is that it doesn't matter when you drink it. So like you can summon the spirit and then drink it, or drink it and then summon the spirit. As long as you have the buff, it will increase the damage. To get the Glovewort crystal tier, head over to Charo's Hidden Grave. And if you don't know how to reach this area, it's the red flowery area above the blue flowery area. Go up to Castle Front, here in front of Castle Ensis, and then you can walk down the road. You'll come to Pillar Path Waypoint, go down through here. You'll come to Dragon's Pit, kill the last boss. You'll pop out on this side and then go down the road. You'll hit the Dragon Communion, go up the dragon, and then that's how you reach the red flower area. And the other thing you'll need to do is have some Hefty furnace pots. There's a timestamp on this video if you're watching on YouTube labeled Hefty Furnace Pot Cookbook or something like that. Go to there to get the cookbook to make those. And then once you have some Hefty Furnace Pots and are at Charo's Hidden Grave, you can head over to here, and that's about where we're going to find the golem. And what we're going to do with these pots is throw them into the top of the golem's head, and that's going to do a bunch of damage. This golem doesn't have the attackable feet like the other ones do, so you will need to do this. You can just hug the wall to get over to him. You can see him up ahead. What we'll need to do is get up behind him and go up a spirit spring, and then that will give us a high ground vantage point to throw the pots at his head. This one likes to spam the head attack that shoots fireballs at you forever. Here we are. Hopefully he comes over here. Oh, missed. Actually never seen him do that attack before, that's new to me. There's one hit, did 40k. 2. 3, and that killed him. And there is the Glovewort Crystal Tier. The Cerulean-Sapping Cracked Tier grants an attacks restore FP effect. Basically, every time you hit, you're going to get 5 FP back. And multiple hit Ashavors like Stormcaller will grant 5 FP multiple times, so use that to your advantage. And the effect of the flask lasts about 45 seconds. And the only thing you need to know really is that usually elemental things don't work, like pure elemental spells or pure elemental Ashavors, and also throwing weapons don't work with this. To get the Cerulean-Sapping Cracked Tier, head to the bridge leading to the Village Grace. And if you don't know how to get to this one, go over to Morth Ruins. This is after Rolana. And then go down into the big hole. That'll take you to Bonnie Village. Then you can go over this bridge, and that's the grace that I'm at now. And we're just going to go up this way. There's going to be a furnace golem up about around here somewhere. And this is one of the furnace golems that has a spirit spring. Also, if you come through here, I guess it breaks the seal in Shadow Keep. But this is one of the golems that has a spirit spring that you can get above his head and throw furnace pots in. And the furnace pots do a ton of damage. So do bring some furnace pots with you. Fire pots work as well, but they don't do as much damage. This one likes to do the head attack. To avoid it, I usually just run around like this. And now we'll go up the Spirit Spring. And then hopefully he'll come over here. Nope. Let's go ahead and take cover. Or just dodge the fire. And now we can throw these in his head. Unfortunately, he jumped right there. One more. Should kill him. Usually takes 3 to kill. And that's how you get the Cerulean-Sapping Cracked Tier. To get the Oil-Soaked Tier and the Bloodsucking Cracked Tier, you'll need to make your way over to the Castle Watering Hole Grace, and then you'll get them right next to that grace. But to reach this grace, it can be a little confusing. You'll first need to travel through the main gate plaza and then find an illusionary wall. You'll go inside of there and then ride a coffin over to the watering hole. And I'm going to show you how to go there now, through here. But if you already have the grace, of course, just skip ahead. By these boats is going to be some of those shadow militiamen, so be careful of them. And you can also unlock a shortcut by going down there. That's where we started. Go down this ladder right here. Be careful at the bottom, it is pretty narrow. Go down this one too. In this room you'll see a pretty blank wall. Go ahead and roll it. And then you can get in this coffin right here. And here we are at the Castle Watering Hole Grace. And then from here we can get those crystal tears. The oil-soaked tear coats nearby enemies with oil. So how this works is when you drink it, it lasts 1 minute, and then you have this nearby effect where you put oil on everybody around you. And the effect has a short internal cooldown. I'm not really sure the duration on that, but it's pretty short. And then the buff that you put on them lasts 30 seconds until you hit them with a fire damage source, and then that fire damage source gets increased by 20%, and then the buff's removed, and then you can put another one on them when you wait for the internal cooldown to go away. And then you can do that again, and just keep getting extra 20% fire damage increases on the enemy. To get the oil-soaked tear, head up to the Castle Watering Hole Grace, and if you skipped to this timestamp in the All Crystal Tears video, go to the How to Reach the Castle Watering Hole Grace timestamp, and that'll bring you here. And then from here we just need to go slightly down over here to this dead, or sort of sleeping, furnace golem, and that's where we'll get it. This is also a good place to loot furnace visages, if you need to make those pots. But you'll find him just right here, and then we can go ahead and just fight him as normal. There's nothing special about this one. Go ahead and kill him. And there it is. The Bloodsucking Cracked Tear enhances your attacks at the cost of HP. So basically it will increase your damage by somewhere around 20% for 3 minutes. And then it will drain your health based on your HP. So it'd be your maximum HP times 0.002 plus 20 healing per second. So it's somewhere around 1% of your health per second for a 20% damage increase. And that's about all you really need to know. To get the Bloodsucking Cracked Tear, head to the Castle Watering Hole Grace. And if you don't know how to reach this one, go to the How to Reach the Castle Watering Hole timestamp. And then that will bring you to here. And then from here you can go over to here, over to this Sleeping Furnace Golem. You'll need to bring a Hefty Furnace Pot or Hefty Fire Pot with you. All you need is one, and all you have to do is throw it into the top of his head, and that'll wake him up. And then we can go ahead and fight him as normal once he's woken up. If you don't have a pot to use to throw into his head, somewhere in this video will be a timestamp related to the Hefty Furnace Pot Cookbook. Go there, and then that's where you can find the cookbook for crafting the pots. Now that I'm here, I'm just going to toss it. And you can keep chucking them, but it's kind of tough to get it into his head after he's woken up. So I'm just going to use my skill here. And that will give you the Bloodsucking Cracked Tear. And then also, since you now have him woken up, you gain access to this little Ruins of Unte. The altar for either the Sword of Darkness or Light or the Stone Sheath Sword, depending on which one you interacted with first, will be right here. So I got the Stone Sheath Sword since I didn't pick anything up. But if you already had that, you'll get the Sword of Darkness here. And then you can also loot a chest here that'll give you a spell, if I remember correctly. The Crimson-Sapping Cracked Tear makes your attacks restore HP, and what it does exactly is 0.75% of maximum HP on every hit. Know that if you hit multiple enemies with one single hit, you don't get 1.5% health, you only get 0.75. And the duration on this one is 45 seconds. And I'd actually recommend not using this one at all. It's very bad. For context, the very first crystal tier you get gives you 50% of your health just on use. So you would have to use somewhere around 60 attacks on a single enemy within 45 seconds just to get this effect. To get the Crimson-Sapping cracked tier, head up to the Ancient Ruins East Grace, up here in the northwest. And to reach the Viaduct Minor Tower to get down into this area, just go over to Shadow Keep. You can make your way through the keep up to the first floor storehouse. That's pretty linear. And then go left and then down an elevator. That'll bring you to this place, and then you can cross this big bridge, kill a Fire Knight, and then you'll pop out right here. Then you'll progress through this area, and then end up down here at the East Grace. And then from here we're going to cross the bridge, and we'll find the Golem right there. And of course, if you have the West Grace, it's a little bit closer, not too much closer, but you can go there as well, and then just go up. But from the East Grace, we're just going to cross this bridge. He's going to wake up over there in the distance and start shooting at us. Watch out for that. And this one is pretty much just a normal furnace golem fight, so just fight him like you would any of the other ones. And there's the Crimson-Sapping cracked tier. And that brings me to the end of the video. If you liked it, leave it a like, consider subscribing for more guides to come, and thanks for watching.